In the essay Justice, written by Nikole Hannah-Jones, she talks about how Black people have been exploited economically and how they haven't gained anything from it, and how it's affected communities years later. This chapter brings to light how Black Americans have been excluded from the economy and exploited for its betterment while not gaining any wealth from it. While this happened decades ago, it still affects our social practices and especially our culture and laws. This large disparity in generational wealth in Black families compared to white families is most noticeable and commonly seen stereotypes. In most Black communities, if you have not had to struggle or been through a lot, your experiences as a Black person are seen as less valid. An example of how this affects our laws is visible in one of the biggest political talking points right now, DEI initiatives. DEI initiatives were created to ensure that anyone who would have a more difficult time getting a position, like people of color, women, and disabled people, will have a better chance of getting a job. While these are only two examples, it is a show of how much oppression from the past is still currently having an effect on our social and political climate.
Our general thought of this chapter was a sense of sadness for the struggles Black Americans had to face, but did not surprise us on the hate America has for Black Americans. We thought justice tied into the material we read in varying ways, but overall, our idea was that justice has not been given to Black Americans over history, and in order to progress as a country, that justice needs to be served one way or another to ever fully unite. For justice, my feelings towards this chapter are a bit melancholy, a feeling of sense of unity, but also a sense of disappointment. Seeing how Black people were kept down by the very government that is supposed to protect its people, in the way that despite being kept down, we were able to support our own and fight for our own and others' rights, invoking a feeling of, well, justice. Knowing no matter what any people, the government, or anyone tries to do to keep us down, we will rise together.
Nikole Hannah-Jones' argument in the chapter Justice emphasizes how Black people have been held back and tormented throughout America's history. She talks about the false ideal of justice in America and how the first enslaved people set the stereotypical image of Black people being undeserving of justice. It sets a powerful reminder that the legacy of our enslaved ancestors and systemic racism is not confined to the past, and it is still very present in our legal and criminal justice system today. Through history, personal experiences, and deep analysis, the chapter makes the reader realize how justice in America has long been unfairly distributed, especially for Black Americans.
In Chapter 18 of the 69 Project, A New Origin Story, Nikole Hannah-Jones argues that the United States has never fully confronted the legacy of slavery and systematic racism. She highlights how Americans have been historically exploited and denied equal opportunities, resulting in the racial wealth gap seen today. Hannah-Jones advocates for reparations not just as financial compensation, but as a step forward acknowledging the nation's past and achieving true racial justice through a blend of historical analysis and contemporary examples. She connects past injustice to ongoing disparities, emphasizing the need for the U.S. to address these unresolved issues to heal and move forward.